the 49ers have signed wide receiver Chris Conley. He didn't do much last year, and he's about 30, but he's been a starting wide receiver for a while on some good teams. What do you make of this transaction?
It's interesting. I mean, I think that he ran 4.3 coming out, and he had 46-inch vertical. We're talking about an incredible athlete. He's better than just a camp body, so it kind of makes me wonder if there's any truth to the rumors that Ayuk could be on the move,
That's
because
what I was thinking.
they're still looking at rookie receivers. It's a really good rookie receiver class, and I think Ayuk's replaceable for sure. And I think he's value in a trade. I mean, why did they meet with Isaiah Foskey, who's going to be a late first, early second round pick, if they weren't going to have a late first or an early second round pick? And if it sounds like they might not move the quarterback, maybe they're going to move Ayuk. I don't know. I mean,
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, Conley's pretty good though.
Well, I mean, I don't know what he has left in the tank. I think he had like 4 or 5 catches last year, but he's a split end. He plays Ayuk's position. He's bigger than Ayuk. I don't know if he's still faster than Ayuk, but at one point he was faster than Ayuk, and I think it's clear that the Niners are looking at split ends to potentially replace Brandon Ayuk if they don't keep him long term, because they might just trade him during the draft. To your point, they've been looking at receivers that are out of their league, out of their range. So that's odd. Yeah, they could trade Brandon Ayuk, and you really shouldn't be paying for a lot of money for a lot of wide receivers. Like, those are guys you can draft.
And I like Ayuk, but if you put him in this draft, he might be the second or third best wide receiver in the entire draft. I mean, you might be able to get a late first round pick or even a high second round pick for Ayuk. And we've seen him do it before with Buckner and Kinlaw. I could see them doing it again.
Yeah, this is one of those signings where it's like they sign a receiver, and I think fans might think, well, they're not going to draft one because they signed one. Like, this guy might not necessarily make the team, but I think he shows you what the Niners are looking for. And they're looking for an X receiver to potentially replace Brandon Ayuk, because I don't know that Danny Gray showed that he's that guy.
Right. And also, you've got every spot covered now. You've got the speed threat. You've got, Jennings, a route runner. Conley's a big bodied guy. And if you're looking at other receivers, you still have Debo, you got Tay Martin. Definitely. I mean, why are you looking at receivers in the draft if they're already 7 deep? They usually keep 5. So it kind of makes me think that maybe if a team comes knocking, they're willing for the right pick compensation package. Maybe they're willing to move Ayuk and instead of extending him.
They've kept 6 wide receivers before. It's possible that I still think they're going to draft a wide receiver. I don't think they're done here. I think they're really looking at this position. I don't know that Danny Gray showed him anything last year. I mean, if they can move off of Trey Sermon after a year, they could do the same thing with Danny Gray. So no one's safe here except for Debo, I guess, because they signed him. That's why I look at it.
I mean, Jennings, I think, is a fixture, but you're right. I mean, Debo's the lock. Ayuk's possible. Will they move Ayuk? I think New York Giants would love to have Ayuk. I mean, there's 5 or 6 teams in the NFL that would die for Ayuk. So if you could get what would it take? Probably a high second round pick and maybe another pick, a second and a fifth, something like that.
I don't think that's enough for Ayuk. He was a late first round pick, and I think he's lived up to his draft status, if not exceeded it. If they trade him for a second round pick, I don't know. I think you should be. I think you should be able to get a late first for him. And if you can't, do you do it? I don't know.
I mean, a late first, maybe a high second, and maybe a couple other picks. I mean, yeah.
Same thing. Yeah, 6 1 half dozen or the other. Nathan says Larry and Grant light the beam. I don't know what that refers to. I know it's a Sacramento thing.
Yeah, every time the Kings win, they light the beam, and it's a purple light that goes up out of the arena, the Golden One Center, and cool. It's like their rallying cry for they only light it when they win. So it's like Kings fans saying light the beam like they're going up 2-0 tonight. We'll see.
I think that's pretty cool. I know you both are Warrior fans. Incorrect. Not a Warrior fan. I was growing up, but I am a journalist, and I could care less if they lose. Love your show. It's fantastic. Thank you, Nathan.
I do love the Warriors. As Monte Ellis said, I am a Warriors, and I'm always going to be a Warriors.
Respect. Well put. Monsature says, Niners also added Tyron Johnson, 4.3, 640. Interesting. They're putting all this speed on the outside. Who's that for? Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
Or Trey Lance. Yeah. Or maybe Trey Lance. Yeah. That is an interesting development because I wouldn't think that's for Brock. No offense to Brock.